Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive with us. Today, we're going deep on a brand that a lot of folks probably haven't heard of.
Yeah.
Credor.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of this, little exploration here, we're hoping that you come away with some good knowledge about this fascinating brand and one specific model, the Credor Phoenix CBGR 999.
Right. Well, you said most people haven't heard of them, and that's what makes them so interesting. They really kind of flying under the radar, you know.
Yeah. Credor is like this hidden gem in the Seiko family. It was launched in 1974, originally as Credor, which means golden crest.
Okay.
And it's always strived for excellence, which is symbolized by its logo, a golden mountain with 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, the Phoenix line is a fascinating piece of its history.
I've heard it's especially intriguing for those who really appreciate Grand Seiko.
Yes.
So I'm curious, how do they compare?
Well, Seiko actually intended Credor to be a luxury counterpart to Grand Seiko.
Interesting.
Early on, both brands utilized high-end quartz movements, like the 8J caliber. You can think of it as like a testament to Seiko's dedication to quartz technology, even in its luxury lines.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly enough, the 8J was so robust that it could even survive a hot Japanese bath.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, that gives you an idea of the kind of durability they were aiming for.
So surviving a hot bath, that's pretty impressive.
It is.
But how did Credor evolve from quartz to mechanical watches, especially with this Phoenix line?
Well, it's an interesting shift.
Okay.
Seiko, and by extension, Credor, experienced a sort of mechanical renaissance around 1998.
Okay.
The Phoenix line emerged as a response to this, focusing on these high-end mechanical movements.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as their answer to the growing demand for mechanical watches while staying true to their luxury roots.
So was the Phoenix line meant to kind of rival Grand Seiko in the mechanical realm?
Not quite. The Phoenix line, while being positioned below Grand Seiko,
Okay.
was still a testament to Seiko's commitment to quality and craftsmanship. Think of it as analogous to how the modern Brights or Ananta ranges sit in relation to Grand Seiko today.
Mm-hmm.
It's a step down in the hierarchy, but still offering exceptional quality.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what makes the Phoenix line so special besides its positioning?
Well, one key factor is its limited production run,
Okay.
making these watches rare and highly sought after by collectors.
Ah, I see.
And here's a fascinating tidbit.
Okay.
Seiko actually brought retired watchmakers out of retirement to develop the high-beat 6S78 chronograph for the Phoenix line.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a testament to their dedication to creating something truly exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't just assembling watches, they were crafting pieces of horological art.
That's incredible. It really speaks to the level of craftsmanship and passion behind the Phoenix line.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the watches themselves.
Yeah.
What were they like? What made them stand out?
Imagine a watch that combines the ruggedness of a field watch with the elegance of a dress watch.
Okay.
That's the essence of the Credor Phoenix line.
Interesting.
These were robust enough for everyday adventures, yet refined enough for formal occasions.
Yep.
And what's more, they were primarily released for the Japanese domestic market, or JDM,
Gotcha.
which adds to their allure and exclusivity.
A blend of ruggedness and elegance. Huh?
Yeah.
Sounds intriguing. What about the movements? You mentioned the 6S78 chronograph.
Right.
Were there others?
Oh, absolutely. The Phoenix line showcased a range of high-end Seiko movements, including the 4S77, 8L35, and the 8L75,
Okay.
each adding its own unique character to the watches.
So, like, for instance,
The 8L75, found in models like the GCBR 993 and GCBR 999, was a derivative of the Grand Seiko 9S55 movement.
really?
Yes,
That's a pretty big deal.
it is.
So does that mean that these Credor Phoenix models were essentially Grand Seikos in disguise?
That's a fascinating question, and one that gets to the heart of what makes the Phoenix line so special.
Mm-hmm.
It's not simply about comparing specs.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the philosophy behind each brand and how they approached watchmaking.
Okay.
We'll definitely come back to that point as we uncover more about the Phoenix line.
All right. You've definitely piqued my curiosity. I can't wait to dive deeper into these specific models and movements.
Yeah.
But before we get lost in the details, let's take a step back and appreciate the bigger picture.
Sure.
What were some of the design cues and inspiration behind the Credor Phoenix line?
Think of it as a tapestry woven from various threads of Seiko's watchmaking heritage.
Okay.
They took inspiration from the Seiko Alpinist with its rugged and adventurous spirit, the Grand Seiko 8N and 8J lines with their integrated bracelets and sporty aesthetics,
Okay.
and even the King Seiko 4402-80 with its robust and angular case design.
Wow.
The Phoenix line skillfully blended these elements, creating a unique aesthetic that stood apart from the crowd.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So they took inspiration from all these different models, but created something unique.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. Okay, so you mentioned that the Phoenix line borrowed from several iconic Seiko models.
Right.
I'm really curious how those design influences translated into actual watches.
Sure.
Um, let's unpack those connections a bit further.
Okay.
Starting with the Seiko Alpinist.
Yeah.
How did its DNA end up in the Phoenix line?
Well, the Alpinist is known for its go-anywhere attitude, right?
Hmm.
That sense of practicality and durability.
Okay.
It shines through in the Phoenix line as well.
So they took the rugged spirit of the Alpinist
Yes,
and made it luxurious.
exactly. Imagine the Alpinist graduating from mountain trails to upscale events,
Okay.
all while retaining its core identity.
Gotcha.
And then you have the influence of the Grand Seiko 8N and 8J lines,
Right.
known for their integrated bracelets and that sporty yet elegant vibe.
Ah, the integrated bracelet.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of the Grand Seiko aesthetic.
It is.
Did the Phoenix line fully embrace that?
Not every model, but some incorporated it beautifully,
Okay.
blending it seamlessly into their design language.
Yeah.
It's like they took the best parts of those Grand Seiko models, refined them further,
Mm-hmm.
and then used them to create something entirely new and exciting.
It sounds like a real melting pot of Seiko's best design elements.
Yeah, I could say that.
What about the King Seiko 4402-8000? You mentioned its influence earlier.
Yes. The King Seiko 4402-8000 is recognized for its bold, angular case design.
Okay.
And you can see hints of that in the Phoenix line as well.
So it's not just about individual features.
Right.
It's about how the entire watch comes together, right?
Yeah.
It's that overall feeling of strength and refinement
Exactly.
that they seem to borrow from the King Seiko.
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
It's about that cohesive aesthetic, that sense of purposefulness in the design.
Yeah.
They didn't just slap features together, you know?
Right. Yeah.
They carefully considered how each element worked in harmony with the others.
Okay.
It's a testament to Seiso's mastery of design and their understanding of what makes a watch truly special.
This is what makes the Phoenix line so fascinating. They took inspiration from all these iconic Seiko models, but ended up with something entirely unique and distinctive.
Yeah,
Now, I know you can't talk about every single Phoenix model,
right.
but are there any that really stand out? Maybe ones that truly embody the spirit of the line.
Oh, there are definitely a few that spring to mind.
Okay.
The GCBR 999, for example, is a true standout.
Okay.
Not only is it incredibly rare,
Right.
only 50 pieces were ever made,
Wow.
but it also boasts a feature rarely seen in watches of that era, a carbon fiber dial.
Carbon fiber. Wow, that's a bold choice, especially for a luxury watch back then.
Right. It was a daring move,
Yeah.
and it paid off beautifully.
Okay.
The carbon fiber gives the GCBR 999 this modern edge, this sporty vibe that perfectly complements the classic design of the Phoenix line.
Yeah.
It's like they knew they were creating something special, you know, something that would stand the test of time.
I remember this was before social media and the internet took over the watch world. So this watch truly flew under the radar for a while,
It did.
making it even more desirable for collectors today.
Absolutely.